What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Metroid Prime 3 Corruption HD playthrough. My name is Jason, and yeah, welcome back to the channel. I think we left off last week, we had just defeated Gore, I believe. And yeah, so we're still in Skytown, and now we get to begin the quest of upgrading our ship, and we'll progress from there. So let's go ahead and let's get started. Hope you guys had a great week. Been another busy one for me, but really glad to be back playing some Corruption. I think last week we were talking a bit about art style. I think we were kind of talking about Star Fox's art style. And I gotta say that it's kind of grown on me a bit. So, you know, I wasn't crazy at it first. It's grown on me a little bit. So I'm pretty excited to play the game, even though I guess it's just another remake of the same game that we've gotten 3 or 4 times already. And I think that was the bigger issue I take with the game, is the fact that it's just another remake of Star Fox 64. I would have preferred a completely new game, personally. New levels and new bosses. But I'm still excited to see mainly what the game looks like in person. It looks great in the trailer. So, but yeah, I said we're going to talk a bit more about the Metroid Prime art styles. Oh, great. Here we go again with this. See if I can get through this without dying again. I don't know, man. Oh gosh, dude. Can't wait till I can skip through all this. Can I yet? I don't think I can I? No, I have to go through this. Because I don't think I can fly my ship. I haven't found the other landing spots. This is fun. Oh, I almost didn't even get that. Come on. Jeez. It's frustrating. Oh, I gotta adjust my mic a little bit. Bit frustrating, man. This part with the controller. I wish you could lock onto these. I almost wonder if Nintendo did do a remake of this or just a remaster. Oh, man, see, it's just touchy. But I almost wonder if they would let you lock onto those. I wish there was a way to lock on. Mr. Mangler, if you're watching this, or Sir Mangler, sorry, if you're watching this, can we make a lock on for this? Oh crap, that was close. I think I gotta do another one too. Or maybe not. Oh, thankfully I don't. And I think at some point most of these we can skip. But yeah. So anyway, got the plasma beam. So got to make our way back over to the AU. But yeah, the art style as far as these games go, the Prime games, I really like Prime 4's art style, parts of it, and I think other parts of it they feel a little generic. They definitely don't touch the art style and design of this game. This game is so unique, and the texture work they did, it really looks like they put a lot of effort and time into crafting these textures. The amount of detail, it's just insane. I think I scanned that one already. So I really appreciate the design of this game, and as well as, I think for the most part, I would say Prime 1 has a great art style, but it still doesn't have the amount of detail this game has. I would say Echoes is closer and has a lot of detail as well. But I think Prime 4, there's parts like the shrine when you first get to Vuros, the different designs of the like Fury Green, the different biomes. I think Fury Green is probably the best. I like that one, and I also like Volt Forge. But I feel like they start to get a little bit generic after that. I think the Flame Pool and The ice belt, much like their names, are kind of a little generic in their art style. Just not quite as detailed, and they don't have that same feeling that the other ones have, the other areas. Especially Fury Green, I think, is great. Volt Forge has also got a pretty unique art style. I really like the spires, and the way those look is really cool. So overall, I think it's got a strong art style and art design, but I definitely think it could be better, especially in the flame pool and the ice belt. I feel like those are a little more generic. The ice belt has parts, you know, and then don't don't get me started on the mines. The great mines are, oh boy, definitely generic there. Okay, I think we got to go down. But overall, I don't feel that the art style really holds up compared to this game or Echoes. Those games are just, man, they're so good. Is there? There's nothing there. But the art style in this game is top notch, man. It's the creativity and the amount of detail and work they put into this game is just, it's immense, and it's next level. But I think too in Echoes of areas like Torvis Bog, okay, I gotta do this now. I really like this too. I like having to do this. Welding these things back together to get the power back on is pretty cool. And then there's things like the suit. I feel like the suits in Prime 4 are okay, but I don't think they're as good as the suits in this game. The corruption suit's really good, but also especially in Echoes. And even in Prime 1, like I really like the Phazon suit. But I think Echoes has the best suits. Alright. Do I have to do anything here? No. I think I just go back up now and talk to the AU. That's why I think this game would be the hardest to completely remaster. I don't think that if they did, I don't think they'd put the same level of detail in the textures, because in Prime 1's remaster, they didn't. I think of like how much work that I put into the texture work in NPR for Prime 1. I really tried to recreate the original textures.
We have restored our connection to Skytown's network. Now we can execute our plan to destroy the Leviathan. We must first disable the Leviathan's protective shield. Unfortunately, the generator for this shield is hidden beneath the dense clouds of Elysia, and so is impossible to reach directly. As an alternative to destroying the generator,
Man, that suit looks good.
we have calculated that a massive thermonuclear explosion would likely destroy the shield itself. This facility possesses the components to create such a device. We would like you to build this device and drop it on the Leviathan shield. Unfortunately, the components are too large for you to lift unaided. You will need assistance to move and assemble them. There is a Federation landing site far to the east of Skytown. You will be able to find something to help you there. We will upload the current map data of this area to your suit. This should help you get started. Good luck, Samus.
Good luck, Samus. Alright. Let's see. Where was it at? I'm having a hard time with the map right now. Okay, I kind of think I remember where it is. I don't know why it's not letting me zoom out. My map button maps might be off. But yeah, back to the texture work of this game. In NPR, I went through a lot of effort to recreate the original textures, and in Prime Remastered, the official game, in the Orpheon, you kind of feel like they didn't do that. They did a more generic style. It feels like.
Ship status update. Auto repair functions complete. Ship is ready for use.
Ship is ready for use. I think I go this way now. Guess we'll see. I don't know why it's not letting me zoom in. Yeah, I do go this way. But yeah, I feel like they didn't do that with the remastered, the official Prime Remastered. I feel like, especially in Orpheon, because the Orpheon textures were probably the most detailed textures in the game. They went the easier route. Oh yeah, I need to be able to jump off that. I forget which power up that is. Can't do that yet, I don't think. Nope.
Samus, perhaps what you require to access the Federation landing site in the east is not on this planet. The item you need may reside on a world you have previously visited.
Yes, I believe so. It would be Bryyo, more than likely, if I remember right. Oof. I think there's a landing spot down here though. And then up there, I think that's where you drop. I think, let me double check. Pretty sure one of the upgrades gets parachuted into this area or something. But yeah, I feel like on the Prime Remastered, sorry, I'm trying to finish my thought and play at the same time, but they definitely didn't do that in the Orpheon. They did it, I mean, it looks more, I don't want to say generic, but it doesn't have the same amount of detail for sure. But it kind of blends really well. They use the same color throughout, and it just kind of changes the whole feel and appearance of it. In the original game, there's a lot of different shades and colors to the different textures, and it really feels like what the Space Pirates did is piece together pieces of other ships and stuff to make that ship, to make the Orpheon.
Samus, the security locks have been engaged on this landing site. This was surely a result of Gore's recent activities. I will unlock this area, allowing you to command your ship to land.
Sweet. But yeah, I think what they did with the original design and what they had in mind, like I was saying, is they wanted it to feel like the Orpheon was pieced together from other ships, because the Space Pirates would take almost like I think they're called the Borg in the old Star Trek Next Generation series, where they would assimilate other people's technology. And so I think that's what the Space Pirates do. They were assimilating different parts of the ship into the Orpheon, and it's kind of like a junk freighter almost, like they would take old pieces of things and put together. At least that's the feeling it gives in the design. But I feel like they kind of lost that with the Prime Remastered. Maybe I'll do a video in the future kind of comparing that and going more into my thoughts in that, but I definitely feel like they lost that feel of it. So I'm pretty sure Norion, there's nothing there. I think I can get another energy tank and fight the Metroid Hunter there, and I think that's all that's really left there. So I'm pretty sure I gotta go back to Bryyo. Where in Bryyo? I guess we'll start at the beginning. Trying to remember. I love the space transition and with the loading screens in this game. So good. Definitely prefer them to the bike sequences in Prime 4. it just looks great, man. With this reshade and the settings too, it really adds a lot. But yeah, I definitely feel like some of that original art style was lost in Prime Remastered, in particular with the Orpheon. And because I worked so hard in that area to preserve those original textures, it gives me a real appreciation for the original art style. And yeah, unfortunately, it just doesn't have that same feel in Prime Remastered because of the way they didn't go into as much detail. And I definitely will, I think, do a video on that and show you guys what I'm talking about. But I'm sure a lot of you already know what I'm saying. But the level of detail in Prime 4 doesn't approach the level of detail in this game, in my opinion. And in the level of detail in the Orpheon in the first game as well. There are other parts of Prime 1 that have some great detail and great texture work, but the Orpheon really stands out to me as being superior as far as detail levels go. But I think art style is very important to the experience of a game. It just adds a lot to it. I'm trying to remember where I should go. I don't think I go that way. I don't even think this was the right way to start, but we'll find it. Pretty sure it's here on Bryyo though. But yeah, art style is going to really affect the experience you have in the game, and it's really going to not only just the feel, the atmosphere, it's all dictated very much by the art style. And honestly, that's probably why this game was my favorite for so long, because I just really appreciated the art style. See like these golems and stuff too, and just this whole level. But everywhere in this game is very detailed, like just the amount of detail in the game. I think of Echoes too. Oh, see, I need that to get up there. This might be the right way. Gosh, I'm trying to remember. But yeah, in Echoes 2, Sanctuary comes to mind. And the amount of detail in that area of the game, it's insane. And I'm working on Echoes and actually remastering some of my Echoes. You know, I'm working on some of the textures and changing those, remastering them. I'm taking a similar approach as to NPR Prime 1, in that I'm really trying to capture the, not exact, because it's really hard to exactly recreate these textures, there's so much detail, but to keep the majority of the original art style intact. Okay, wait, how do I get up there? Oh yeah, is it this? Alright, how do I drop that? Huh. See how I drop this down. Gate door is locked. Unable to open from the outside. But these golems, like the amount of detail in these guys, look at that. So sick. I know I can get up there. At least I thought I could. It's not through there. Yeah, because don't I have to drop that down, I think, to get to that? And then swing over there. Question is how? Maybe I go down here. Oh, there's a flame door at the top up there that I gotta go to. There's one up here too. Guess we could try to go over here. And I'm not saying that every game has to be this detailed to be a good experience, but it's just a standard that Retro is set with these games. And I know the majority of those artists have probably moved on, different studios and stuff. So they probably didn't work on Prime 4. And there's aspects of Prime 4 that are great. Okay. So I think I gotta get up there. Yeah. But yeah, I think it just doesn't meet up to the standards that these games set. Okay, now I gotta remember how I got up there. And it's not that Prime 4, like I was saying, isn't a solid game as far as the art style goes. So how do I drop that down? Crates. Platform is extended, is locked in place, and will remain in its current position. So that's not going anywhere. You know, I feel like I would probably figure this stuff out a lot faster if I was just playing without commentary. But that's just kind of how it goes. Unless I would sit and watch someone else's playthrough, I guess, before I do these videos, but I don't do that. Missile racks are part of a gunship weaponry upgrade controlled by a nearby terminal. The terminal was right here, though, to lift those, wasn't it? Pretty sure. What happens if I do this? Maybe I can jump off my ship. But yeah, in the Prime 5, I would like to see the return of that level of detail in the texture work and the art design for the game. Okay, maybe it is. This is it, maybe? Can I get up there from here? It doesn't feel like it. Grab ledge. Jump. Okay, I know what that is. I never scanned my ship. But yeah, in Prime 5, if they do a Prime 5, hopefully they do. Oh, maybe it's just through here. I think so. Okay. I think we're back on track. Oh yeah, these guys. The hoppers. Hopefully we get a Prime 5, but if we do, I do want to see a return to this level of detail. Just super detailed worlds and textures, and it just feels lived in, and the civilization, like it's an old civilization. It just feels super lived in, and just like there really was a lot of work put into this area, and the civilization that existed here. They just lived here for a long time, and they really put a lot of work into this area. Alright. Uh-oh. Forgot you gotta do those in order. Feels super lived in, all these cool glyphs and things, hieroglyphs, whatever you want to call them. The textures, It just really feels like an ancient civilization that existed here for a long time. And I wouldn't say that Prime 5 and Viros doesn't, especially like I was saying earlier, Green Fury, it's really cool. It feels super lived in. But I mean, not to this degree. Look at this. That's awesome. I would say the same with Echoes and the way the Luminoff and those areas feel. Prime 1 also. Okay, I need something to do that. I think it's something with my weapon. Maybe it's a charge beam. Or not charge beam, grapple beam. I also like the way the story's told through these. Much like the first game. And I feel like there's still a lot of lore in Prime 4 that you can get from scanning, but it just doesn't feel as deep. And I think part of that is the art style. Okay, so wait. Cage, invulnerable to weaponry, a giant impact could destroy it. This do it? No, that I think I gotta. If I remember right, there's like a piece of the statue, the head that I put there, and maybe that's what unlocks this. These collapsed stones appear immovable. A giant impact could crumble the debris. I don't think that's a giant impact. That's not either. There's nowhere to bomb this, is there? Nope. Gunship carrying an object suitable. Okay, not carrying an object suitable. Yep. So I gotta find something to put there. But I don't even think that's what I'm looking for at this part of the game. Maybe it is. Alright, so this ended up being a dead end. But yeah, I definitely feel like they need to get back to that. The Luminoth in the second game too, there's just such a cool connection that you get with the art style and the story and the way the story unfolds. And I feel like, yeah, there is in Prime 4 some of that, just not enough. I mean, they could almost have done away with the the scanner completely, and I don't think it would have really affected that game too much. Certainly not as much as it would this game. Not just from the standpoint of the lore, but even like some of the puzzles and stuff. Security clamp, okay. So I gotta shoot that with that. But see, even like that, like you've got to do a lot of scanning even just to figure out some of the puzzles, and you do a little bit of that in Prime 4, but I just feel like they got away from so much that makes the series great in the fourth game, and I think that's ultimately what hurt that game. I think also because they didn't really appeal to the hardcore Prime fans, a lot of people just crapped all over that game, and I think that scared away a lot of interest, you know, people who aren't familiar with the series.
Further analysis of the ancient reptilian ruins on Bryyo has revealed a unique energy spike. We suggest you investigate this phenomenon. We will transmit the coordinates to you now.
Alright, let's see. Alright, gotta go back over there. So wait, is that all that was here then for now? Doesn't look like I can really go anywhere else. Oh, that's right. Magnetic, so you need the spider ball. Unable to restore energy. Okay. And maybe that's what I need this for. Yeah, you gotta use your grapple beam to overload that if I remember right. And I don't think you can do anything there, so I gotta get over to that other area. Got some backtracking to do. But yeah, I think they got away from it. And again, not appealing to the original Prime fans really hurt that game, because there was just so much negativity about Prime 4. A lot of hardcore Prime fans like myself and those of you who are watching just crapped all over the game. I tried to look at the positive aspects of the game for the most part and not focus too much on the negative, because I felt like the first, I'd say 2/3 of the game were pretty solid for what they are. They're not like the original trilogy, you know, they got away from it a lot. But there is some elements there, and that made the game okay, and I felt like I tried to focus on those just because I was afraid that the game was going to be a complete failure. And now we see, at least that's the speculation, is that because the game wasn't on Nintendo's recent financial report, that there was under 1 million sold of the game on each console. So on Switch 1 and Switch 2, you had less than 1 million on each one, and that's not good. That's not good at all. So it really hurts the chances that there would be another game. I'm hoping though what's going to happen is, because of the development of the engine, that took a lot of the time, and you know, costs are mainly due to that. And hopefully now that they have the engine in place, they can create a 5th game using that engine, and it wouldn't cost them as much, because can I? Oh, you can't even freeze those. Oh yeah, I can do this here now. But so hopefully it would be cheaper to make a 5th game, and they'd be able to also spend more time in the actual game itself, creating the game, versus having to create the engine, you know. So that's something to hold on to. It's a hope, you know. I don't know if that's the case or not, but I kind of feel like, because of how amazing the graphics were in the game and the presentation of the game, how great it ran, I mean, it runs great even on the original Switch, that a second game using that engine with exclusively for Switch 2, so not having to kind of dumb down the texture work and things in order to get the game to run well on a Switch 1, would not only result in a better looking game, but also more time to put into the development of the game itself and not have to worry about developing the engine. So that's, I mean, that's a speculation on my part. I don't know if that's the case, but I really kind of feel like it makes sense. Oh man, I kind of feel like that makes sense, you know, that would be the case. That it did take, you know, a lot of work and a lot of time to develop the engine, because I'm pretty sure whatever engine they were working on originally when the first developer was working on the game, I don't think that got, you know, far enough in the year or two of development that they had to really finish an engine. And I also don't think Retro would even want to use someone else's engine. Oh, okay, I think, holy crap, dude, struggling. So I would think, you know, Retro would want to have created the engine from scratch. So I think that took a lot of time, a lot of money, and that could have, you know, who knows how long it took, but the game was in development for a long time, even after it moved over to Retro. And I think it was 2019 that they announced that the game was gonna restart development with Retro. Correct me if I'm wrong in chat, in the comments, but I think that's the case. There we go. So it kind of makes sense that that's what happened. So again, if they decided to go forward with a 5th game, I would think that they would have a lot more time in the actual development of the game. And I also think, from what, you know, what's been said anyway, that Retro had to use a lot of the ideas from the original game. Supposedly, they kind of had already settled on an open world design as far as what Nintendo wanted. And I'm guessing that that's what Bandai Namco, whoever the original developer was doing. They were working on an open world game, and those elements continued over into the new development team at Retro, and so ultimately hurt the game. You know, obviously, these games aren't open world. This is probably more open world than the other ones. I don't know, you could say maybe even Prime 1. But they're still far from open world games. Okay, is that all that was over here? Must be. All that for a couple missiles, huh? Let's go back out this way just to be sure. So guys, I think we have hope for a Prime 5, I really do. Despite the fact that we all did not like Prime 4 for the most part. Again, I tried not to focus on the negative aspects because I didn't want to scare away people who wanted to try the game, which is what I think happened because I think the sales kind of show that. How do I get up there? Can I? Yeah, I can get up there. Oh, it's like a shortcut. Oh, I just got to go over here anyway. And I'm not blaming Prime fans. If you don't like something, I think it's important to voice that in your opinions so that Nintendo can know, like, look, if we make another game, we kind of got to let Retro cook, because I think ultimately had it been up to them, I don't think they would have continued with those, you know, elements from the original development. You know, if that is the case, I don't think they would have made it an open world game if they had the choice. And it really wasn't an open world game anyway. Just kind of. And I think even as somewhat an open world game, it could have been done a lot better. Okay. Oh, yeah. This is one of my favorite... Hold on, is there a save room here? I think there is. This is my favorite part of Bryyo. It's so cool. But yeah, I guess that's the rumor though, is that Retro was pretty much forced. Oh yeah, I gotta shoot this. And then I do this. And if that's the case, and Retro was forced to continue with those elements of the game, it makes sense that it turned out the way it did. They didn't have quite enough time to do enough in Soul Valley to actually make that part of the game worthwhile. So it ended up being this giant empty desert that nobody asked for. Nobody wanted an open world Metroid game. I know that I for one didn't, and I think most of us didn't. That's what we got, and it just wasn't done well. They didn't have enough time, and that's another thing. It feels like the game after the Ice Vault just really started to deteriorate in the quality of the game, the levels, the design of the levels, and then you got the Great Mines, which were just not good. Generic design for one, but the level design itself just wasn't great. This is cool. This reminds me of Echoes. Dude, Samus looks so good. Yeah, this is like my favorite part of Bryyo right here. It reminds me of Phendrana Drifts in the original Prime. Okay, yeah, this is where I get that power up too. I like how you break that ice to fall all the way down too. It's so cool. I think there's a save somewhere. Okay. Yeah, this is a beautiful area. See what I mean though? The architecture here. This giant statue. There's this original, like the spire or the temple or whatever it is in Beyond. That's really cool looking. And obviously the Lemorn are a different race, so they shouldn't look exactly like this. I think, you know, for the most part, that shrine area captures what the Lemorn were. But there just wasn't enough of that in the design of the other levels. Whereas with this game, you see it everywhere. You really get the feeling that every one of these planets was occupied and that there's just a lot of world building and a lot of lore. Screw attack, that's what I needed. Uh-oh. And this music too. It's very majestic. Yeah, see, this is cool too. The verticality of these levels too. It just makes it all feel so much bigger than it is. And that's another thing that Beyond didn't have. Okay, landing on this thing's kind of fun. Oh, there we go. Some more ship missiles. You guys have to let me know what you think though. How do you feel about this area of the game? It's like, it is one of my favorites. Just because it feels like a combination of Phendrana and the Chozo ruins to me. Too, because you have that really ambient music. Alright. The screw attack is so much better in this game than it is in Echoes too. Remember in Echoes I kind of hated the screw attack. It just seemed like it was a little hard to use. Maybe it was because it was the first time using it in 3D. But I just really feel like it's just easier to use in this game. And it feels a lot better to use. I think this is another video that's gone over a little bit. I've been trying to keep them around 30 minutes, but it's okay. We can have some long ones too. Alright, now we gotta head all the way back to Skytown. And then you kind of have like this Magmor feel to this area as part of Bryyo. See, so like Bryyo is just a real diverse area, right? Hold on.
Samus, are you there?
I'm here.
I've been trying to reach you. Is everything all right? There are some important new findings. A reconnaissance probe has discovered the location of the missing flagship.
Oh, Valhalla, dude! I love Valhalla.
I'm sure you are aware, this vessel was attacked by pirates 5 months ago. We request that you investigate the Valhalla for any information about the pirates and their master plan. We will upload the coordinates to you now.
Dude, I love the Valhalla. It's so cool. We're definitely going there. Maybe that's where I'll end this video, is that way you guys can get a little peek at the Valhalla. Oh, there's a shortcut. Should we take the shortcut? Oh wait, how do you even get over there? Oh, it's down there. This way? Yep. Ooh. Those things hit pretty hard for being little guys, don't they? Oh yeah, so the shortcut's up there. I can't even remember exactly where you go to get that shortcut, to get through that door. Structural integrity of exhaust pipe supports are minimal, vulnerable to electrograpple forces. Exhaust pipe appears ready to fall over. Support structure holding piping in place. Oh yeah, so I gotta... Can I get it from here? No, I don't think I can. So I'm pretty sure I gotta come through that door through the other way. It's all good though. You can do that later. I don't even think you need to come back to Bryyo anymore though. But yeah, the diversity of Bryyo, and just another thing that I really appreciate about this game. Just how you have so many different fields within this one planet. It does kind of feel like they miniaturized Prime 1 with these planets and kind of have these different biomes within each planet. Alright, let's go check out the Valhalla, guys. And then we'll probably stop there and then pick up the gameplay next week. There. The Gallflower system. Yeah, I had fun talking about art style with you guys today, and I'm interested in hearing your thoughts. What do you guys think about the art style in this game versus Prime 4? The original trilogy as a whole versus Prime 4, like, what do you guys think? I feel like a lot of you are going to agree with me as far as the feel of the world and what levels are good and which ones are kind of generic. This area looks crazy. Yeah, I did upscale these skyboxes here too, and then I added a blur to them. Kind of gives it a little bit more of a distant look. Sometimes if the stars are too sharp, it doesn't look right to me. I mean, they're off in the distance, they shouldn't be that sharp. GFS Valhalla. You guys are in for a treat. This area is awesome, man. If you haven't played it before, I'm sure most of you have. But I love the way they tied the energy cell search to this ship, and so they give you a reason to kind of progress here, and as you get more cells, you can progress and get different power-ups and stuff through here. And then the story that is told here, it's just really dark and ominous. The whole feel of this area is. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this playthrough. This God, man, it's been so fun playing this game again all the way through, and to present it to you guys this way. I really hope that Nintendo is working on a remaster of this game. I would like to see a full remake in the... I mean, honestly, I'd like to see Echoes and this game completely remade in the Prime 4 engine. I think that would be epic. Especially if they do what they did with Prime 1 remastered and keep the gameplay pretty much identical to the originals, but just upgrade the visuals, you know? But yeah, I think that's the best way to go about it for these games, because they're not perfect games, but they're perfect in the way they feel to me, you know, and the story they tell, and the whole story as a whole. The you know, the Phazon storyline is really interesting, and it's worthwhile. I really enjoy these games, man. I tell you, these games are what really keep me involved in gaming, and so I hope you guys feel the same way. But really enjoyed doing another playthrough with you guys. I hope you're enjoying it, and I hope you'll join me again next week. You guys have a good one.